What if I told you that you could strengthen your muscles, correct your posture, and even reduce pain without taking a single step? It sounds impossible, right? But that's the magic of isometric exercises. They deeply activate muscle fibers even when the body is still. No equipment is needed, no endless repetitions, and they are already changing the lives of thousands of people. Today, I'm going to show you 6 simple isometric exercises that anyone can do at home without spending anything and in just a few minutes a day. Stay until the end, because exercise number 1 is the most powerful of all, and it could be the turning point for your health, strength, and independence. Exercise 5, wall sit. At first glance, it may seem like something trivial, just leaning your back against a wall and sitting without a chair. Nothing moves, there's no visible weight, no apparent motion. But that's exactly where the secret lies. The wall sit, also known as the wall sit, is one of the most powerful isometric exercises to transform the body without needing equipment, endless reps, or long gym sessions. When you slowly slide down with your back against the wall until your knees form a 90-degree angle, your entire body goes on high alert. In the first few seconds, the position feels calm, almost too easy. But soon the legs start to burn. The abs contract to maintain posture. Breathing must stay controlled, and the mind begins to be tested, because holding the position demands discipline, focus, and mental strength. This combination of silent effort is what makes the exercise so special and so effective. While most exercises involve dynamic up and down movements, the wall sit bets on something even more challenging: immobility under tension. When you hold the position still, the muscles remain contracted the entire time. There's no relief, no rest in the middle of the rep. This means that muscle fibers that are often underused are activated, creating a uniform effort that strengthens the quadriceps, glutes, calves, and even stabilizing muscles in the lower back and core. Beyond strength, the wall sit improves endurance, because the longer you hold the position, the more your body adapts to handle prolonged loads. What you feel in practice is revealing. During the first 10 seconds, everything seems easy. In the next 20 seconds, the body starts to send signals, the legs begin to shake, and the mind wants to give up. But it's precisely at this point that real training happens. The wall sit doesn't just strengthen the muscles, it also builds your ability to withstand discomfort, to remain firm when everything seems to be asking for a break. It's a physical and mental workout at the same time. The benefits of this exercise are broad. It increases the strength of the quadriceps, essential muscles for walking, running, climbing stairs, and maintaining independence throughout life. It activates the glutes, which are responsible for stability and power in everyday movements. It engages the core, which maintains proper posture and protects the spine. It trains cardiovascular endurance indirectly, since maintaining the contraction requires more oxygen and makes the heart work. It improves balance and reduces the risk of falls, something especially important for adults over 50. The wall sit can also be adapted in various ways. Beginners can place a Pilates ball between their back and the wall to make the movement easier. Those who want to intensify the exercise can hold a weight or a backpack on their lap. Another variation is lifting one leg a few inches off the ground, which works balance and unilateral strength. You can also increase the difficulty simply by extending your arms forward or holding them above your head. These small changes make the exercise more challenging and prevent the body from adapting too quickly. Recent studies in exercise physiology show that isometric workouts, like the wall sit, are effective for increasing strength, muscular endurance, and even helping to control blood pressure in people with hypertension. This means that, in addition to being a tool for aesthetics and strength, it's also a health strategy. For people over 50, the benefits are even more important because they help combat sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass with age. By keeping your legs strong and your core stable, you ensure independence and quality of life. In the end, the wall sit is a powerful reminder that you don't need to move to achieve big results. All it takes is leaning in, adjusting your position, and holding strong. Every second counts as an investment in your health, your strength, and your confidence. And the question that remains is, how long can you hold yourself seated in this invisible chair? Exercise 4, static push-up. Many people believe that push-ups are only about the classic up and down movement. But there's a quieter and even more challenging version of this exercise that almost no one practices: the static push-up. Instead of doing multiple quick reps, you lower yourself halfway and simply stop there, holding strong without moving an inch. That's when the real magic happens. When the body is suspended, the chest, shoulders, arms, and abdominal muscles enter maximum tension, and this continuous tension turns the simple act of being still into a training of strength, discipline, and endurance. At first, it may seem easy. You get into position on the floor, place your hands slightly wider than shoulder width, extend your body in a straight line, and lower halfway down. In the first few seconds, it feels like nothing major is happening. But quickly the muscles begin to shake, breathing speeds up, and your body starts sending signals that holding this position takes far more effort than it seems. That's the essence of isometrics, keeping muscles under constant pressure, without rest. Unlike traditional push-ups, where there's a moment of relief as you rise, here there's no pause, no break. It's pure, sustained strength that deeply recruits muscle fibers. The big advantage of the static push-up is that it doesn't just strengthen the front of the body, it also teaches control. While holding the position, you're forced to keep your core engaged to prevent your lower back from sagging, maintain proper alignment so the shoulders don't give in, and control your breathing so you don't quit too soon. It's a complete workout that challenges not just physical strength, but mental strength too. To perform it correctly, lie on the floor in a push-up position, place your hands firmly on the ground, arms extended, legs together, and body in a straight line. Take a deep breath, slowly lower yourself until your elbows form approximately a 90-degree angle, and stop there. Hold strong, keeping your abs engaged, glutes slightly activated, and spine in a neutral position. Your head should follow the alignment of your spine, neither looking too far up nor letting it drop down. Keep your breathing steady, filling and emptying your lungs in a controlled rhythm. This detail is essential. Holding your breath reduces endurance and makes you feel fatigue much faster. For beginners, the ideal is to start with 3 sets of 15 to 20 seconds, resting 1 minute between each. As your body adapts, increase to 30 seconds, then 40, until you reach a full minute. For those already advanced, it's possible to add variations, such as supporting only one leg or performing the static push-up with feet elevated on a bench, which increases the load on the chest and shoulders. Some even add weight to the back, but this should be done with caution to avoid overloading the lower back. The benefits of this exercise go far beyond gaining defined muscles. It strengthens the chest, adding volume and firmness to the area, increases shoulder and triceps strength, essential for pushing and lifting objects in daily life, and heavily engages the core, turning every second of effort into a posture and stability workout. Those who practice it regularly notice that simple activities, such as getting up from the floor, carrying heavy bags, or pushing furniture, become easier. In sports, the static push-up prepares the body for more complex exercises because it builds a solid foundation of strength. For those over 50, this type of training is especially valuable as it helps maintain muscle density, protects joints, and even improves confidence in one's own body. Many people in this age group report that after a few weeks of doing static push-ups, they're able to perform regular push-ups more easily and also notice improvements in posture and core endurance. Another less discussed aspect of this exercise is the mental challenge. When you lower and hold the position, there's a moment when your mind begs you to quit. The discomfort builds, muscles tremble, and every second feels like an eternity. It's at that exact moment that the workout stops being purely physical and becomes psychological as well. You train patience, resilience, and the ability to endure discomfort. And that skill doesn't stay in the workout. It transfers to other areas of life, because you learn not to give up when things get tough. Those looking to progress can try interesting variations. One is the unilateral static push-up, where you place more weight on one arm than the other, increasing the load and strengthening the body asymmetrically. Another variation is using unstable surfaces, such as an exercise ball or a pair of parallel bars, which further challenges core stability and coordination. You can also do small pulses within the static position, lowering a few centimeters and returning without fully coming up, which maintains continuous tension and increases the challenge. Studies on isometric training show that exercises like the static push-up improve maximum strength and increase localized muscular endurance, making them especially useful for those looking to protect their joints from repetitive movements. In addition, recent research suggests that this type of training can help improve blood pressure control, reinforcing that its benefits go beyond aesthetics. In the end, the static push-up is much more than just a still exercise. It's a complete challenge that strengthens muscles, improves posture, teaches discipline, and builds confidence. It proves that you don't need to move to achieve powerful results. Just hold the position, breathe deeply, and believe that every second counts. The question is, can you hold for 30 seconds, 45, maybe a full minute in this position? The answer lies in your body, but most of all, in your mind. The most common mistakes include putting too much weight on the toes, causing the foot to roll inward, or only rising a few centimeters, without really challenging the muscles. Another mistake is holding your breath. Remember, breathe calmly and in a controlled manner, filling your lungs and exhaling slowly. For those looking to progress, there are several variations that make the static calf raise even more challenging. You can do the exercise on just one leg, which doubles the load on the calf and requires more balance. You can also perform it on a step or block, increasing the range of motion and allowing the heel to drop below the line of the toes. Another variation is holding a weight in your hands, like a loaded backpack or a dumbbell, to increase resistance. You can also combine the movement with core exercises by keeping your arms raised or holding them in different positions, which challenges posture and stability. In the end, the static calf raise is much more than just a still movement. It's a tool for strength, prevention, and health. It proves that taking care of your body doesn't have to be complicated. Just rise onto your toes, take a deep breath, and believe that every second in this position is a step towards stronger legs, steadier steps, and a life with much more balance and confidence. Exercise 3. Static Superman. Lying face down on the floor may seem like rest, but as soon as you lift your arms and legs at the same time while keeping your core engaged, you'll realize your entire body jumps into action. This movement is known as the Superman, because when you perform it, you look like the comic book hero flying through the skies. And although it seems overly simple, just a few seconds in this position are enough to show how powerful this exercise really is. The static Superman is one of the best allies for strengthening the lower back, improving posture, and relieving back pain, especially those caused by sitting too long. When you lift your arms and legs simultaneously, the deep muscles of the spine are intensely activated, and these are exactly the muscles often neglected in day-to-day activities. Anyone who spends long hours in front of a computer or driving knows how much the lower back suffers. A lack of strength in this area can cause chronic pain, poor posture, and even limited range of motion. The Superman helps correct this in a practical way, with no equipment and just a few minutes a day. The movement is simple. Lie face down on a mat or the floor, extend your arms forward, and keep your legs together. Take a deep breath, engage your core, and as you exhale, lift your arms and legs a few inches off the ground. Hold the position as if you were truly flying, keeping your neck aligned with your spine and avoiding tilting your head upward. Your gaze should be directed downward, not forward, to prevent strain on your neck. For beginners, holding for 10 to 15 seconds is already a big challenge. Over time, you can increase to 20, 30, and even 40 seconds, performing 3 sets with 1-minute rest intervals. Those with more endurance can aim for a full minute, and advanced individuals can add variations such as holding small weights in the hands or wearing light ankle weights to increase the intensity. What makes the Superman so effective is its ability to activate the posterior chain, which includes the lower back, glutes, hamstrings, and even the muscles between the shoulder blades. This area is essential for keeping the spine upright, providing trunk stability, and preventing injuries. In other words, the Superman is a natural antidote to modern-day sedentary habits. In addition to postural benefits, This exercise helps reduce lower back pain. Many practitioners report that after a few weeks of regular practice, that annoying pain when standing up from a chair or the stiffness after sitting for long periods almost completely disappears. This happens because the Superman strengthens exactly the muscles that support the spine and prevent overload on the intervertebral discs. Another important benefit is improved body awareness. Holding this position requires you to sense body alignment, control your breathing, and maintain stability even in discomfort. This type of training enhances coordination and the ability to activate specific muscles, something essential for anyone looking to train smart and safely. It's common to underestimate the Superman because it seems too easy, but that's one of the biggest mistakes. The exercise may look simple, but its effectiveness lies in regular practice and proper execution. When done hastily, raising the arms too high or overextending the legs, the result can be lower back or neck pain. The key is to keep movement subtle, focusing on muscle contraction rather than range of motion. The most common mistakes include lifting the head too much and bending the neck, which creates unwanted tension, raising the legs too abruptly, causing excessive arching in the lower back, and holding your breath, which reduces endurance and safety during the movement. Fixing these details ensures that the Superman is not only effective, but also safe. The benefits of this exercise go beyond aesthetics and strength. It helps prevent common injuries in people who play sports, strengthens the lower back for daily lifting movements, and creates a solid foundation for activities like running, cycling, and swimming. For those over 50, the static Superman is an essential tool for longevity. It fights sarcopenia by keeping the muscles active, improves balance by strengthening stabilizing muscles, helps prevent falls, and boosts confidence when performing simple tasks like picking something up from the floor or carrying heavy objects. When you incorporate the Superman into your routine, you quickly notice improvements in your body. Your posture becomes more upright, pain decreases, your core becomes more active, and even your breathing feels easier because your trunk gains stability. It's as if this simple gesture of lying down and flying on the floor is a key that unlocks a more aligned, stronger, and more resilient body. In the end, the static Superman is not just an exercise. It's an invitation to regain back strength, undo the effects of a sedentary lifestyle, and achieve confident posture. And the question that remains is, how long can you fly before landing? Exercise 2, horse stance. Few exercises seem so simple and yet so transformative as the horse stance, also known as static sumo. When you assume this position with your legs wider than shoulder width, knees bent and torso upright, you quickly realize you're not just standing still. You're silently challenging nearly your entire body to work. This position originates from Eastern martial arts, especially karate and sumo, where it was used to develop strength, endurance, and discipline. But the truth is, anyone can practice it today, at home and with no equipment, as one of the most effective ways to strengthen the legs, glutes, and core all at once. The first impression is usually misleading. When someone drops into the stance and holds for a few seconds, the initial feeling is one of stability and control. But as the seconds tick by, the thighs start to burn, the glutes kick in, and the abs contract intensely to keep the torso aligned. The entire body begins to shake, begging for rest. But it's precisely at that moment that the magic happens. Muscles get stronger, endurance builds, and the mind learns how to handle discomfort. The execution is simple, but full of important details. Start by placing your feet wider than shoulder width and turn your toes slightly outward, around 30 to 45 degrees. Slowly bend your knees, lowering your hips until your thighs are nearly parallel to the ground. Keep your torso upright, your core engaged, and your shoulders relaxed. Your knees should be aligned with the direction of your toes, not falling inward. Hold the position, breathing deeply and in a controlled manner. For beginners, holding for 20 to 30 seconds is enough to feel the power of this exercise. Over time, increase to 45 seconds, then 1 minute, and those looking for a greater challenge can aim for 2 minutes or more. Progression can be done simply by adding 5 to 10 seconds each week. The benefits of the horse stance are numerous. First, it strongly strengthens the quadriceps and glutes, muscles essential for walking, climbing stairs, sitting, and standing up. It also activates the core and lower back muscles, creating a solid foundation for posture. Another important benefit is the strengthening of the adductors, the inner thigh muscles, which are often neglected in other exercises. This activation directly contributes to balance, stability, and the prevention of knee injuries. What's most impressive is realizing how such a simple and accessible exercise can produce such significant results. No gym, expensive machines, or large space is required. Just a few minutes a day and the willingness to face initial discomfort. Studies on isometric training show that positions like the horse stance increase muscle strength, improve balance, and contribute to joint health. Furthermore, researchers suggest that this type of exercise can help regulate blood pressure and improve bone density, crucial factors for those aiming to age with better health and vitality. The horse stance is also a way to reconnect with ancient practices. In martial arts, it was used not only to strengthen the body, but also to train patience, discipline, and the ability to keep the mind focused under pressure. When you practice it today, you revive a bit of that spirit, bringing a posture of strength and determination into your daily life. After a few weeks of consistent practice, the results become visible and felt throughout the body. Your legs become firmer, posture improves, balance increases, and simple activities like walking long distances or lifting heavy objects become easier. Additionally, there's a subjective but powerful benefit: the feeling of confidence in your own body. Knowing you can endure 1 minute or more in such a challenging position builds self-esteem and motivation to take on other challenges. In the end, the horse stance is more than just a physical exercise. It's a complete training of body and mind, a practice in strength, endurance, and discipline. It proves that you don't need movement to achieve powerful results. All it takes is lowering into the position, aligning your body, breathing deeply, and holding firm. Exercise 1. Static dead hang. The exercise of hanging from a bar might seem childish, something that brings back memories of school gym class or playground games. But behind this simple movement, known as the static dead hang, lies one of the most effective and complete isometric exercises for strengthening grip, decompressing the spine, activating the shoulders, and preparing the body for more advanced training. When you grip a bar firmly and let your body hang still, without swinging, you quickly realize that you're not just hanging. You're training deep, essential muscles that are often neglected. In the first few seconds, it feels relaxing. Your body stretches, the spine lengthens, and the shoulders loosen up. But as time passes, your grip strength is tested, your forearms start to burn, your shoulders engage, and even your core is called in to stabilize. This simple act of hanging creates a powerful effect, strengthening and relaxing at the same time. Proper execution is simple but requires attention. Find a sturdy bar, grip it with your palms facing forward, place your hands shoulder-width apart, and lift your body off the ground, letting your legs hang relaxed. Keep your shoulders slightly engaged without letting them rise too close to your ears, and breathe calmly. Ideally, start with 3 sets of 10 to 15 seconds, resting in between. With practice, increase to 20, 30, and even 60 seconds per set. Advanced practitioners can work up to 2 minutes or more, turning the exercise into a true endurance challenge. Another important benefit is shoulder strengthening. By keeping your body suspended, you activate muscles in the rotator cuff, trapezius, and lats, which help stabilize joints that are often prone to injury. Additionally, the exercise improves shoulder mobility and increases range of motion, leading to better performance in other movements. Your core also engages to keep the body aligned and prevent swinging. In this way, the dead hang is a complete exercise that activates the entire upper body in a simple and efficient manner. But like any exercise, there are mistakes to avoid. The most common is letting the shoulders hang completely loose, creating excessive strain on the joint. Ideally, you should maintain a slight engagement known as scapular retraction, which protects and stabilizes the shoulders. Another mistake is swinging the body too much, which takes away from the essence of the exercise. It's also important not to hold your breath, since controlled breathing increases endurance and helps keep the body relaxed even during effort. For those looking to advance, there are interesting variations. One is the unilateral dead hang, where you hang using only one hand, an intense challenge for grip and core strength. Another is using towels wrapped over the bar, which forces your fingers to work harder. You can also combine the dead hang with light movements, such as scapular retractions, where you lift and lower your body slightly using only your scapular muscles without bending your arms. These progressions not only build strength, but also prepare the body for more complex exercises, such as traditional pull-ups or advanced calisthenics movements. Studies in functional training highlight the dead hang as one of the most useful exercises for preventing back pain and improving spinal health. Physical therapists use it as a tool in rehabilitation programs because of its ability to relieve spinal compression and strengthen shoulders and hands without impact. It's a democratic exercise. Anyone can do it. Children, adults, seniors, beginners, and athletes. Results come quickly, as long as there's consistency. Just a few minutes a day are enough to notice a significant improvement in grip strength, posture, and an overall feeling of lightness in the body. What's most interesting is the mental connection this exercise creates. Being suspended, feeling your entire body held up by your hands, is a powerful reminder of strength and confidence. With each extra second you manage to hold on, you feel yourself overcoming limits and proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. In the end, the dead hang is a simple yet transformative exercise. It proves that you don't need complexity to achieve great results. All it takes is a sturdy bar, a few minutes of dedication, and the willingness to face the challenge of time. Now, I want to hear from you. What did you think of this exercise? Have you ever tried the dead hang? What were your struggles? What did you feel in the first few seconds? And how long were you able to hold on? Share in the comments, ask your questions, and let us know where you're watching this video from and what your training routine is like. Your experience might inspire others to start too, and together, we can build a stronger, healthier community.